you know, in retrospect, you think, well, I beat that guy 6-2, he turned around and beat me. You know, so things can happen. So you gotta be prepared. It's always 0-0. You're going into this big competition. You know, on Saturday, you might have beaten some of these guys already, but still, you gotta shake their hand. The scoreboard's still 0-0. So you gotta be, you know, aware of that, respect them, but know that you just gotta, you know, go hard. So that's an interjection. I'll do more of that later. But all right, so now, you know, I'm at a crossroads. I ended up going to the crossroads being nuts. All right, absolutely nuts. Friends had a party that summer. I ran to it. And if it was too far, I rode my bike to it. And when I got there, I drank root beer. And I don't know about you guys, but my buddies drank beer back then. All right, so there, you know, I wasn't, you know, I was just trying to do things right. I was trying to do, you know, train hard, be an athlete, things I put in my body. I just, you know, I said, you know, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. Might as well do it right. I'm gonna lift weights. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna have my heart so I never get tired. All right, that's kind of impossible, but you got to train that way. So then I went into my senior year, and it was kind of a dream situation, you know. I mean, I'm just, every pound of my body meant something. I was jacked up, I was strong. I wrestled all summer, wrestled in 17 competitions. I mean, it was like nuts. I had like 48 matches that summer. It was crazy. And did real well. Won a lot of titles, beat a lot of guys that were good the year before. So I went into my senior year and blazed through the first 3 matches, and we go up to this high school up in North Jersey called Phillipsburg. And back then, Phillipsburg was, you know, the best in the whole area, state champs, and they're going against, you know, the Pennsy teams, Northampton, and all that stuff. And the guy that is at Phillipsburg is 2-time state champ. So when I was a JV guy, my sophomore year, he was a state champ in my weight. When I was a junior, losing first round districts, he was state champ in my weight. All right, so I didn't know how good I was. I didn't know anything. So I get in the semifinals against this guy from the high school called Rick Memorial, and I ended up beating him 17-2. All right, semifinals. It was a tough Christmas turn. I woke up and coach was state qualifier next year. Guy won the Region 6 title in New Jersey State region. Here the guy won, you know, like, I didn't know. All right, so I guess now I know. So it's in Phillipsburg. This guy, 2-time state champs in his mag. You know, they're this color. All right, is this the school colors? No. Okay, good. Right, so there's spotlight on it, and every ugly person in New Jersey or North Pennsylvania lives in Phillipsburg area. We're all sitting around the mat, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home. All right, but I remember walking out, you know, the coach said, you know, go ahead, you know, see where you are. Shook his hand. Within 40 seconds, there was a flurry. All of a sudden, I'm on my back. Oh, he's pinned. Now, not only was I pinned, I'm embarrassed again. I'm up, you know, the place is going nuts. The stands are falling apart. All right, and the kid not only pins me, but as he gets off me, he goes, boom! Gets up. Right in my face, just boom as loud as he could. I mean, would you be ready to? Well, I was like, because you know, I figured if I I'd be thrown out through a window at the top. So he yelled in my face. Got up, shook his hand, walked off again. Felt that same ashamed, embarrassed thing. But on the ride home, my coach was like, yeah, you just lost to a 2-time state champ. You got in the finals of the tournament. You know, only one other guy got in the finals from our team. That was an awesome tournament. All right, don't build a monument around us. You know, just try to get better. Keep moving along. So the rest of the year, I won every match. Beat some guys that had beaten me the year before. Got in the district tournament. Pinned my way through the district tournament. Got in the region tournament. Tech followed in the finals. And I got taken down first. Reversed him and crushed him. So I got in the state tournament. Beat the guy that beat my friend Pat that I came back for. He remember once he lost, I beat the guy that beat him. Bob LaFranco was the third in the state the year before. And beat him bad. All right, so I got in the semifinals. And I actually got reversed in my back in the semifinals of the state tournament. And I was, long and short of it, at the end of the first, you know, the semifinal match, with 7 seconds left, I'm on top. We go back to the center, whistle blows, you know, kids try to stand up, and I get sideways chop tilt, you know, 3 count, it's 2 points, the clock goes great, you know, goes off, you know, and my little cheering section of Paul 6 High School is going nuts, and I remember just going because it was, you know, Catholic Purple School, and, you know, just, thank God, I shook his hand and walked off. And right on the other mat, Dave Boncher's pinning the kid, and he kind of looks at me, and, you know, semifinal, just like this, you know, right there, I'm walking back, and he's kind of looking over and, you know, saying he's going to be. So here you are, 8,000-9,000 people back then. Now there's like a lot more than the state final tournament. But this is, you know, a big deal in the state of New Jersey. And I get introduced, and, you know, he gets introduced first, and it's 4-time this, 4-time that, 150,000 wins, that, in Phillipsburg High School, 2-time state champ. You know, the place go crazy. He walks out to the center, and I was like, man, I'm Derengowski. Little crickets, you shake his hand and walk over. Well, first, I was second weight class, so the first weight class kid, match ends in a pin, and you know, all of a sudden I'm up, and you know, and we get in a flurry towards the end of the match, you know, outside of the match, I get a takedown. All right, and this is funny because I'm 44 years old. This is 1986. You know, before all you were born. I got 7 minutes crystallized in my head here that I could show you, but I won't do it that long. But anyway, so you know, I end up getting the first takedown. Place goes crazy because everybody hates the real good team, right? It's like if the Lakers come down, or I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean, though, right? People kind of cheer for the underdog guy. And, you know, I was just a Paul 6 high school kid, you know, 31-1, and nobody knew who I was. And I just just took him state, two-time state champ. And so I ended up, I'm real good on top, so we'll do some top drills and things like that. And so I was breaking him down the other way, breaking him down, legging him over the other way, and I wasn't getting him turned, but he couldn't get off his belly, all right? So all of a sudden, boom, stalling. All right, place goes crazy. End of the first period, he hits the stalling again. So now I get a point, right? Stalling second, stalling 1 point. So the long and short of it again, here we go, I ended up being up 4-0, and, it's a short time left in the match, maybe 20, 30 seconds. I get taken down. I just kind of bailed on his double leg instead of kind of fighting, just bailed down. And, down the mat, we go kind of out of bounds just like I did in my semifinal match. And don't you know it, I get turned with 5 seconds left in the match. And I'm winning 4-2, but it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got one more count, I lose the match, right? So now we're tied. And back then it was 3 1-minute periods overtime. So I walk over to my corner, my coach wants to smack me in the head. He grabs a towel and starts drying me off. We've got a 30-second break or something, then we do 3 1-minute periods. And he's like, ready to talk to him. He goes, look over there, look at him. And I look over at the kid, Boncher, Dave Boncher is a kid's name, great wrestling name, right? Dave Boncher. Anyway, so he's sitting in the chair and he's, look at him. He's in the chair and they're waving a towel. And I'm like, just got up, man. I'm ready to go. All right, we're ready to go. Didn't want to do all the training for no reason. So I went out and I just torched him. Snapping around, moving around. It was a hard fought overtime. I went giving up a takedown. I was up 6-0, giving up a takedown right towards the end of the last third 1-minute period, and it's 6-2. And I remember feeling this earthquake, this rumble. It was basically just people just stomping and starting to cheer. And 5-4, and it just started going like, oh my God. I just been part of a major, still to this day, one of the biggest upsets in the New Jersey State Finals. This kid from nowhere, never got out of district, so win a state title. So I remember getting up, and this guy tries to hug me. You remember the whole boom thing, right? I mean, you wouldn't forget that, right? I'm 44 years old, like I said, but I still remember it. And that is the most cocky thing he could do, and just the degrading thing he could do. And now he wants to hug me. So he goes to hug me, and I just kind of, and I wasn't rude about it, but I just went, I don't want no part of that, walk in my corner. And there's my girlfriend, my sister, and all my teammates. My girlfriend's now my wife. Ironically, she's not standing there, but she was standing there. And so that was real cool. I got to go to school and get announced as state champ and everything else. It was the first time ever. I was at the middle school practice before, and guys are, hey, can you sign this? It's pretty cool. But I'm walking. Here I am, a senior in high school. It's like something happens, change your life, and it's all about working hard and just put the opportunity and trying to get it. But I'm walking out of the state tournament, and there's traffic everywhere. And my sister's driving, my girlfriend and I said we're going to get in the car and go meet my parents for a meal in Princeton at Javelin where they have them, and where they had them. And they're walking down the street, people rolling the windows. Hey, sign this for me. Because I got my varsity jacket on, carrying a big chart. Hey, come here. So I got stopped like 30 cars. A half-mile walk, signing this thing through the window. I'm going, what happened to the guy? It was just a change of everything. But so now, basically, going from, at that crossroads where I wanted to quit, to learning to say, you know what, face this adversity, work hard, set a goal, because I was writing state champ in my book, and I don't know if I ever really believed it, but I definitely wrote it down and I talked about it, and people would think I was crazy, but it was there. So I worked hard, I set goals, and the other thing is I was determined and persistent. Those two things are, great, in your schoolwork, all right? You're trying to get, a better grade in whatever class this is because you want to go to Harvard. Whatever you want to go to Ivy League school. It's the same type of thing. That's what's so great about the sport of wrestling, than other sports, at least in my opinion, all right? Because, obviously I wasn't going to be a linebacker, or point guard in basketball. So, everything fit for me. But I learned that, if you work hard, you're going to see some type of reward, especially if you become determined and persistent. Because you're not going to find your way the first time. Just because you work hard doesn't mean guarantee it. It guarantees you're going to feel good about what you're doing every day. And that means a lot too, because you can build on that. So whatever, I know you got this big competition coming in, but erase your memory of what happened this year, and realize that guy's going to weigh in the same weight class as you, and you're going to shake his hand, and you've been in the wrestling room the whole year, and make sure the guy knows who you are at the end of the match. Win, lose, or draw. Make sure they know who you are. Because if you compete hard every time, you're going to start. Nobody's going to want to wrestle, and you're going to start winning almost way more times than you are losing. And it's not always that simple. Sometimes you got to learn to do it in this room. I can look around this room. You guys look like wrestlers, so I'm pretty sure that you guys know how to work hard and train and everything else. But, you know, that becomes a habit too. Just coming in and making sure that when you drill, you drill. You know, do things hard and do things fast. You know, and that intensity, you know, becomes a habit. People, you know, that's why everybody's like, man, Iowa, the University of Iowa is so difficult to wrestle. You know, I wrestled in college at Rider University. Small, 3,000 students. Okay, I was an All-American. The only two guys ahead of me were Penn State and Iowa State. You know, in Iowa, we beat the Iowa guy, the Michigan, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. This is just in my last year, but you know, that was a cool feeling. You know, from being a school that has really no assets, or you know, no facilities that can compare, or no coaches that can compare, and doing that. So you know, that was something that I took a lot of pride in. And because of that, I got asked to coach at Iowa State. And you know, I went from this little place to Iowa State University, where you know the bus system was bigger than the college I went to. I mean, you know, the football stadium was probably bigger than the campus. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience to go from small-time athletics to taking a jet to Oklahoma State for a match, you know, out of the university airport. I mean, that was cool stuff. And so I got to experience some really good things through wrestling. Got to travel the world, a lot like you know Mr. Bedford over there, who got to swim around the world. But you know, it was a great experience for me, and you know that's why I like doing it. Such you know, when Bob said, "You know, something else was," I'm like, man, I'd love to come over. You know, we have a lot of same friends, and you know that we have mutual friends through wrestling. So it's a great opportunity for me to do this. And I don't want to take too much time because I really want to be ready for this meet and start doing some drills and everything else. But you know, I want you to know that story, not because I want you to think that I'm good or anything else, but I want you to realize that whatever level your gold medal is, you know, make sure you go for it. You know, there's a song that my mom loves, and always, you know, used to say to me, it talks about, I hope you dance. So basically it means, I hope you don't just stand on the side and let things, you know, happen around the world and you don't try, you know. So, you know, so the point of me telling you this story is make sure you go for things. You know, dream big. You know, you want to win the league championships or the area, whatever it is, you know, make sure you try to do that. You know, you want to get 4.0 or whatever the grade scale is, you know, here at the school, go for it, you know. Go big, try to achieve. Because that's the fun part of life. I mean, you know, and if you want to do something else, you want to be really good at guitar and play in a band, that's great too. But do it with passion, do it with energy, and do it with a robust feeling. You know, no, I don't want to tell you don't do anything. Just do what you want, but you know, understand that there's a lot of reward out there to be had in your lives. You know, especially because right now, you know, when you start getting older ages, and you know, like when I was 20s and graduated college, there's a lot more opportunity, you know, different avenues, roads, crossroads. You know, right now you got like 500 roads, crossroads that you can take right now. You know, I'm married, I have kids, you know, I have a career. You know, when my crossroads come up, they come up, and I can clearly make that decision. Right now, the world is open to you guys. You want to get better at wrestling? Go do it. You want to get faster at running? Go do it. You want to get straight in? Go do it. You know, but realize, you know, it takes a lot of hard work to do that. You just gotta go after it. All right. So what we'll do now, we'll kind of lay out the plan. You know, we'll warm up, and we'll do it if you don't mind. We'll warm up. You know, the way that we warmed up in Iowa State, the way that I like to teach, you know, camps, and you know, it involves a lot of running around, you know, with some acrobatics, and you know, nothing that you won't get to do. Like they should do triple backflips and on the horse handstands. But we'll do warm up like that. Then I want to do a bunch of drills. So skill building drills. You know, just double leg lifting. You know, some skill buildings on penetrations and singles. Some stuff on the bottom, some stuff on the top, and you know, ironically, I really love to teach mat wrestling. So a lot of times when you get coaches or people around you, like, they don't teach you a whole lot of turns. I think in wrestling, you know, if you can get good on top, then it can change your life, right? Because it makes it a lot easier to win a lot of matches. You know, there's three things. So the philosophy that if I could write on the wall over there, three things in wrestling to be good at, you know, especially as you start getting older like this. One, you got to have a takedown you can get on everybody. Okay. Two, you got to be able to get out in 20 seconds or less. And three, you got to be able to ride for, let's say, 30 seconds or more. All right. When you do that, how many matches do you win? What? Every match. 1-0. All right. If you score on the other end, you start turning that out, so it's bigger. It's good. Thank you. But yeah, so I mean, it's that simple. You got to be able to keep a guy down. You got to be able to get out. And who's ever been like frustrated as all get out when you can't get off bottom? You guys got your wrists and everything else. I mean, I've had those guys, right? It makes you want to get better. So I'm going to teach you a couple things. And this isn't like earth-shattering. Oh my God, I can do that. That guy just made his arm go through his ear and come out. I mean, this is not. No. I mean, this is very, very basic stuff that you're going to enjoy. But it's like back to butts up. Let's slow it down. Just get a different perspective. A couple days before you tournament, have a good hard workout. All right, and just kind of re-energize you. You know, like who's that Star Wars guy? The Emperor. I'm going to give you all my energy so you can take it in on Saturday and get her done with some violence, all right? And yes, when you go in the locker room, man, you're going to go, that guy's crazy, all right? And it's going to come from him first, because he's really going, I'm up front, all right? But anyway, so seriously, let's have a good practice, all right? And if we go hard, you know, whatever you guys do, if you put on music doing warm-up, that's fine. If you don't, that's all right too. But let's start by running this way, right here. All right, I'll call things out. Here we go.